The decision that changed nothing until it changed everything. Imagine standing in front of two doors. Behind one door is a future you've dreamed about for years. Behind the other is a future you've never imagined. You desperately want to choose the right one. So you stop. You analyze. You compare every possibility. You replay every mistake you've ever made. You ask everyone for advice. You promise yourself, I'll decide tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And one day, you realize something heartbreaking. Life didn't wait for your decision, because while you were trying to avoid making the wrong choice, you unknowingly made the only choice guaranteed to steal your future. You chose not to choose. Here's the strange truth nobody teaches us. The biggest mistakes in life rarely come from making bad decisions. They come from spending years trapped between possibilities, hoping certainty will magically appear. What if confidence isn't something you discover before making a decision? What if confidence is something you build because you made one? Tonight, let's step into a journey, not about becoming fearless, but about finally escaping the prison that overthinking quietly builds inside every uncertain mind. Chapter 1. The Prison of Endless Thinking. There was once a traveler who arrived at the edge of a beautiful forest. Two paths stretched before him. One disappeared into bright sunlight. The other vanished beneath towering trees. Neither looked dangerous. Neither looked safe. He told himself he'd wait until he knew which path was better. Hours passed, then days. Other travelers arrived. Some picked the sunny road. Others entered the dark forest. Some returned smiling. Some returned exhausted. Some never came back at all. The traveler studied every person. He took notes. He compared outcomes. He built theories. If I gather enough information, he thought, I'll finally know. Years passed. The forest changed. The roads changed. Even the people giving advice changed. But the traveler remained standing exactly where he'd started. One morning, an old woman walked past him. She asked gently, "Why are you still here?" He answered, "I'm trying to make the perfect decision." She smiled with quiet sadness. There are no perfect roads. There are only roads that become meaningful because someone had the courage to walk them. Then she continued walking, not because she knew her path was perfect, but because standing still had never taken anyone anywhere. That is exactly how overthinking works. It disguises itself as intelligence. It whispers, "Think a little longer. Research one more option. Wait until you're absolutely certain." But certainty rarely arrives. Instead, your mind keeps creating new questions. Every answer gives birth to another doubt. Every possibility creates another fear. Overthinking feels productive because your brain is busy. Yet movement inside your mind is not the same as movement in your life. A bird trapped inside a cage can flap its wings all day. It still never leaves the cage. Many people mistake mental activity for progress, but endless thinking without action slowly becomes its own prison. And prisons don't always have bars. Sometimes they simply have unanswered questions. Chapter 2. The Invisible Trap of Perfect Decisions. Imagine a sculptor standing before a massive block of marble. Inside that stone lives a masterpiece. But the sculptor never lifts the chisel, not because he lacks talent, not because he lacks time, but because he fears making the very first cut. What if I ruin it? What if another design would have been better? What if someone else could create something more beautiful? So the marble remains untouched. Years later, it is still a block of stone, not because it lacked potential, but because perfection demanded permission that life never gives. Our minds behave the same way. From childhood, many of us are quietly taught that mistakes are failures. A wrong answer loses marks. A wrong decision brings criticism. A wrong career choice becomes a lifelong warning. Slowly, our brains begin believing something dangerous. Good people make perfect decisions. But look around. Every successful entrepreneur has launched ideas that failed. Every great artist has created work they later disliked. Every strong relationship has survived awkward conversations. Every confident person has looked foolish at some point. Confidence isn't born from never making mistakes. It is born from realizing that mistakes didn't destroy you. The human brain has a fascinating habit. Whenever you're about to make an important decision, it behaves like an overprotective guard. Its only mission is survival, not happiness, not growth, not fulfillment. It scans every possible future. It imagines embarrassment before achievement, loss before opportunity, failure before success. Because thousands of years ago, assuming the worst often kept humans alive. But today, the same instinct keeps people trapped. The brain treats a job interview like a tiger. It treats asking someone out like standing on the edge of a cliff. It treats starting a business as if your life depends on never failing. The danger isn't real, but the fear feels real. And that's enough to keep you frozen. The irony is that while your mind is busy protecting you from imaginary disasters, it quietly exposes you to a very real one, a life filled with what if. Years from now, few people regret trying. Many regret waiting. They don't remember every wrong turn. They remember the journeys they never began. So perhaps the question isn't, what if I make the wrong decision? Maybe the better question is, what kind of life will I build if fear keeps making every decision for me? That single question has the power to loosen the grip of perfection, because perfection was never the destination. Progress always was. Chapter 3. The Bridge You Build by Walking. There is an old story about a village separated from the rest of the world by a wide river. For generations, people believed someone would eventually build a bridge. Engineers came. They measured. They debated. They argued over the strongest materials. They designed perfect blueprints. But no bridge was ever built. Then one day, a young traveler arrived. Instead of waiting for certainty, he placed a single wooden plank across the narrowest part of the river. It wasn't elegant. It wasn't permanent. But it allowed one careful step. The next traveler added another plank. A carpenter strengthened it. A blacksmith reinforced the supports. Years later, the village had a magnificent bridge, not because someone designed perfection from the beginning, but because someone dared to begin imperfectly. Life works exactly the same way. Most people believe clarity comes before action, but reality often works in reverse. Action creates clarity. Think about riding a bicycle. No amount of reading could teach balance. Only movement could. Think about learning to swim. Watching videos never replaces entering the water. Think about friendships. Trust doesn't appear before the first conversation. It grows because of many conversations. The same is true for decisions. Your future self isn't waiting for perfect confidence. Your future self is being built through today's imperfect actions. Every small decision whispers to your subconscious, I can trust myself. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens that whisper. Every challenge you survive turns that whisper into belief. Eventually, belief becomes identity, and identity changes everything. People often ask, how do I know I'm making the right decision? Perhaps the better answer is this. You don't. You discover it by how you respond after making it. Some roads become beautiful because they were easy. Others become beautiful because they taught you who you really are. The destination matters, but the person you become while traveling matters even more. Every step forward teaches something standing still never can, and often the bridge you've been waiting for only appears beneath your feet after you take the first step. Chapter 4. The Quiet Voice You Forgot to Trust. Imagine a young musician preparing for the biggest performance of her life. For months, she asks everyone the same question. Do you think I'm ready? Some say yes, others tell her to practice more. One says she should choose a different song. Another says she should change her style completely. Soon, every opinion becomes another voice inside her head. By the night of the performance, she can no longer hear her own. Standing backstage, her hands tremble, her heart races. She wonders if she should simply walk away. An elderly pianist notices her fear. He doesn't offer advice. He doesn't tell her what song to play. Instead, he asks one simple question. When did you stop listening to the only person who has lived every second of your life? She looks confused. He smiles. Everyone you've asked has seen only a chapter of your story. You're the only one who's read the whole book. Those words settle into her heart. She walks onto the stage, not because every doubt has disappeared, but because she finally understands something powerful. Advice can guide you. Experience can teach you. Wisdom can inspire you. But no one else can live your life for you. Overthinking often begins when we believe other people know us better than we know ourselves. We search for certainty in friends, in experts, in strangers on the internet, in endless videos, articles, and opinions. Each new perspective feels helpful at first, but eventually, too many voices create noise instead of clarity. The answer we needed becomes buried beneath everyone else's expectations. The truth is, your inner voice rarely shouts. It whispers, and whispers cannot be heard in a room full of opinions. Trusting yourself doesn't mean believing you'll never be wrong. It means believing you'll be able to handle whatever happens next. Think back to every difficult moment you've survived. At the time, you probably believed it would break you, yet somehow you adapted, you learned, you healed, you kept moving. The strength you're searching for isn't waiting somewhere in the future. It's already hidden inside your past. Every challenge you've overcome is evidence that you're more resilient than your fear wants you to believe. The goal isn't to eliminate uncertainty. The goal is to become the kind of person who isn't controlled by it. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. And perhaps the greatest decision you'll ever make is this: to believe that your life deserves action more than it deserves endless hesitation. Chapter 5. The life that begins after the decision. Picture yourself many years from now. You walk into an old library unlike any you've ever seen. The shelves stretch endlessly into the distance. But these books aren't stories written by famous authors. They're the stories of your own life. One shelf contains every decision you made, every risk you took, every opportunity you embraced, every dream you chased. You pull out one book. Inside are moments of failure, embarrassment, unexpected detours. But woven between them are friendships that would never have existed otherwise. Lessons that changed your character, doors that only opened because another one closed. Then you notice another shelf, covered in dust, untouched. These books have no titles. You open one. Its pages are blank. Another, blank. And another, blank. A quiet voice explains, "These are the lives that never happened. The conversations you never started, the business you never launched, the love you never confessed, the city you never explored, the dream you postponed until someday. Not because you lacked talent, not because you lacked opportunity, but because you kept waiting to feel completely certain. That is the hidden cost of overthinking. It doesn't simply steal today's peace. It quietly steals tomorrow's possibilities. Life has never asked anyone to predict the future. It only asks us to participate in the present. Every meaningful journey begins with incomplete information. Every remarkable story contains moments of doubt. Every extraordinary life is built one uncertain decision at a time. The people you admire most aren't fearless. They simply learned that action is a better teacher than imagination. And here's the beautiful secret. There comes a day when you stop asking, "What if I fail?" Instead, you begin asking, "What kind of person will I become if I keep showing up?" That question changes everything, because success isn't built from one perfect decision. It's built from hundreds of imperfect ones made with honesty, courage, and persistence. One day, you'll look back and realize that the decisions you feared the most were never the moments that defined your life. The moments that defined your life were the ones where you finally stopped waiting and started walking. If this journey has taught us anything, it's this. Life is not a multiple-choice exam with only one correct answer. It's a blank canvas. Every decision is simply another brushstroke. Some strokes will be bold. Some will be messy. Some you'll wish you could repaint. But together, They create a masterpiece that could never have existed if you'd been too afraid to begin. The world doesn't belong to the people who always choose perfectly. It belongs to the people who choose, learn, adapt, and choose again. So the next time your mind tells you to wait until you're absolutely certain, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. And remember, the door to your future has never been locked. It has only been waiting for you to turn the handle. Because confidence doesn't arrive before the journey. It quietly walks beside those who are brave enough to take the first step. Maybe the decision you've been avoiding isn't the one that will change your life. Maybe making decisions instead of avoiding them is what changes your life. So don't let another day disappear inside endless thoughts. Choose, learn, grow, and keep moving. Your future isn't created by the thoughts you think. It's created by the actions you finally take. Thank you for spending these moments with us on Mindset Hub Tube. If this story helped you see your own overthinking from a new perspective, let it be the beginning of a different way of living. Share this video with someone who always says, "I'll decide later." It might be exactly what they need to hear today. And if you enjoy deep, cinematic journeys into psychology, mindset, and life-changing books, be sure to subscribe to Mindset HubTube and turn on the notification bell. Until our next journey, remember, a small decision made today is infinitely more powerful than a perfect decision that never comes. See you in the next story.